Good chilly morning, everybody. Woo! It's still chilly. I love that it gets sunny and beautiful and bright, and spring is here. And when spring comes, so does that beautiful green lush thing called polk salad. And we are very, very close to celebrating the anniversary of the first day that the craziest man I ever met in my life, Dwight Sanford, came here and became Mr. Ellijay. Now, in honor of that, I did get out my Mr. Ellijay shirt today. I don't wear it much because I get makeup on the neck and you can see it, but I am honoring the craziest man ever. You love his music, you love his crazy attitude, you love a lot of things about him, and I hear lots of stories. Y'all share lots of your stories about when he was a school bus driver for over 41 years, I think he told me, 41 years. This morning I was talking to some other school bus drivers, and they were sharing a little bit of what's going on their buses. And I was like, oh no, you put up with that? Well, parents, it all starts at home. If we let them little heathenistic kids get by with stuff and they get on the school bus and they cuss the school bus driver and they act like crazy people, who's responsible for it? We as parents. Maybe we should step up to the plate. Do y'all remember when your granny used to whoop you? Boy, I do. My granny whooped me plenty of times, and I'm sure I didn't get a single one I didn't deserve. The world is changing. The world is changing so fast. I don't worry about me too much because my days are numbered, but all our days are numbered because we don't know when is that moment that we're going to get bad news about our child, we're going to get bad news about our loved ones, we're going to get bad news. But the good news is, if you are saved, it's not bad news. It's not bad news. And I think that is something we need to talk about more than we do. There is a better place. This little world here is just temporary. All the silliness, all the little attitudes, all the junk, it's just silliness because there is a day. And I saw that at Nelson Baptist Church on Sunday. It was so sweet and so precious. The singing turned into church, and that's what we need to get back to. We need to turn the world back into church. We need to support each other. We need to trust each other. We need to be there for each other. And we need to help those kids that maybe are falling between the cracks because maybe mom and dad aren't teaching them and living the lifestyle they should. We need to step up to the plate. Teachers have done it for many, many years. Some of my greatest experiences are things that I learned from two teachers I loved a lot. One was my English teacher and one was my home economics teacher. A teacher makes a definite difference. And today I want to ask you to say a prayer for a very, very special family. I love one of these sons is somebody that I work very closely with, and I absolutely adore this man and his wife. They are two of the most precious people I've ever met. They are saying goodbye to his mom. Along with them saying goodbye to his mom is his father. They have been married 64 years. And Miss Carol Snell went to be with the Lord after an extended illness. Dementia is one of those things that just we don't know what it's going to do. We don't know who's going to get it. We don't know how they're going to handle it. But to them, 64 years of a very, very happy wedded life, and now he is going to be alone. So please pray for this family. Very, very special family with a lot of love for the Lord, and she taught Sunday school for many, many years. They lived up in the Dalton area, and her service will be at Love Funeral Home in Dalton. But Miss Carol Snell will be missed and was truly loved by all who knew and loved her. But think about her mate, 64 years. They've been side by side, and now we have to pray for him, and we have to pray that he can get through this time. And it is going to be hard, but our prayers can help, and that's what we're about. That's the great thing about doing live TV. If we hear about something right before I walk on, we can talk about it. We can share it with you. We can get you to support others in prayer. Sometimes that's all we can give, and I think that's the most important thing we can give. I was talking to when we were talking to the school bus drivers this morning, and I was hearing all these things, and I said, My husband used to drive a school bus. He could never drive a school bus now because if some kid talked to him like I heard how kids talk to bus drivers, oh my husband would have ended up in jail because he'd have popped him, I guess, because you just don't talk to people like that. We need to really get a hold of this world. And as I pulled in today, I was listening to Dwight's song, and at the end of the song, he has a line that the world is going basically to the devil in a handbasket if we don't get a hold of it. We've got to get a hold of it. And standing around the gas pumps this morning, we were all talking the same talk. We all believe that the world is going to the devil in a handbasket. Why don't we do something about it? Why don't we gather together and put our strength together and make this world a better place? Well, I think laughter makes the world a better place. And I think that the Lord certainly makes this world a better place. But we as individuals can make it a better place. We have the ability to do this. You know, Matt Dibler and I have had this conversation so many times lately. There's so much funny stuff that happens and you're like, oh, I can't believe I survived that. Oh, I did that. Oh, I did that. What you've made it through is no mistake. The Lord is there guiding us and helping us. And I was telling a story about when one of our kids decided they didn't want to go to church one Sunday. Well, my husband gave him an attitude adjustment. Oh my goodness, did he give him an attitude adjustment? What happened to attitude adjustments with kids? When did we forget that you're supposed to teach them respect and to teach them that that's not how you do things? I don't know what happened, but I'm in the generation that it probably happened, because the generation behind me, oh my goodness gracious, it's very, very different. Very different. Today I've got one prayer request that I need to throw out to the folks in Ball Ground. David Byers is having a simple surgery this morning. We all know that David had 5 aneurysms. 5, count them y'all, 5 aneurysms, and he survived that. He is doing better. But they have to do a little repair work, and he's having that done today. And please say a prayer for he and Jenny that he will get home and everything will be fine and dandy and he will heal quickly. The man has been through more than anybody I've ever seen. He's been through a wheelbarrow of stuff and he's made it. So we know that the Lord has a plan for him. And I tell you what the plan is. The Historical Society, we have to interview David, so he's got to get well quickly because we want to talk to him. We want to talk to all the folks out there who remember the way we used to cook. How did your granny and how did your great-granny teach you to cook? And what did they use that is no longer used today? We did about 5 hours of yesterday, just back and forth, some little blippets, and we're going to share that with y'all. We're also going to share a little bit of the first time that Mr. Ellijay set foot on this set. And it was just 1 year ago. And he told me, he said, well, after 6 months of me, you'll be tired of me. And I said, no, he's still fun and he is crazy. And that laughter and that attitude, and I know y'all love his music. He comes up with some of the coolest things, and he says, I've been singing that song since 1964. And he remembers all the words to it. Doesn't remember what he had for lunch, but he remembers the words to the songs. And that is part of life. Our past is part of why we are who we are today. If you are strong, maybe it's because a strong woman or your dad may have taught you to suck it up, buttercup, and deal with it. And I think he's a product of both his parents. Didn't get to meet them, but they must have been pretty cool people. So yesterday, in honor of his mama, who used to say, it's time to go hunt the poke salad, we went out and hunted poke salad, and we went to Harrison Park here in Ellijay. Now, it is open to the public. It is a piece of what ETC does for your community. It is for everybody to use. It is free of charge. You just go there, you walk, you sit, you meditate. You enjoy the beautiful sound of the river. It is an amazing, amazing place just off the main square in Ellijay, and it is just the coolest thing. So where else would Mr. Ellijay go to pick poke salad? Of course, at Harrison Park. And we're going to show you some video. We're going to show you some clips. We're going to show you some photos. And if you have not started picking your poke salad, Miss Lois Chastain said, are you sure it's poke salad? Is it not too early? Oh, no, it's not too early. We had a boo-coodle. I guess a boo-coodle's a word. We had a boo-coodle, a poke salad, and it cooked down, and you're going to get to see what it cooked down to. We're going to show you that. But we want to honor all of those cooks before us who taught us. I'm still looking for somebody who does creases, because I know that creases grow around the creek banks. And I know one little lady, Miss Carol Cook. You better pick up the phone and call me, and let's figure out how we can do these creases. And I know I'm still looking for somebody who can find the old-timey lettuce. I can't find anybody who finds old-timey lettuce out in the woods that you actually make a salad out of. So if you know where there's some old-timey lettuce, we would love to capture that as it's coming up. It's about preserving the past and embracing the future. We need to do both, but we need to do it cautiously. And we need to do it with reverence, because there are so many things in the history of America that we are forgetting. You know, we were looking at the water after we washed all the polk salad, and the water turns green. Do you know how the Cherokee dyed their pottery and how they changed the color of the things they used? They used berries, and they used leaves, and they used vines, and that's what it was about. They made their baskets out of vines. That's what we need to recall, we need to remember, and we need to honor those who went on before us and had pretty awesome ideas. Not a single one of them had an iPhone that told them how to Google and do something. They learned themselves, and I think that's what is so cool about we're doing an hour-long Heart of the Home special, and it's going to be honoring the old-timey ways, honoring those moms who taught us the old-timey ways. And if you have a photo of maybe your grandmother or your great-grandmother, something she taught you in the kitchen, something you'd like for me to share and add to this piece, we only have a few days to get the pieces together, and Tim doesn't know how tight his deadline is. But one of the great things about what we're going to share with you today, nothing has been edited. We just did a few clips that we're going to be sharing with Tim. That's when the magic happens, when the editor sits down and says, okay, we've got to trim this, we have to clip this, we have to do this and this. That's when the magic happens. My sweet granddaughter received an Emmy Award for editing. She is beyond amazing, and that is the genius in television. I can come here live and do what I do. There's no genius to it. I show up, I do my job, I love my job. The editing is where the genius happens. And so we're going to send Tim all these pieces that we did yesterday, about 5 hours worth of filming. And then he's going to put it together, and we will come up with an hour-long special. It's going to be about mothers and about the old-timey ways and about the days, a great memory, just the sweet memory of walking into your grandmother's kitchen, and maybe she was making biscuits on a wood stove. Maybe she was frying up fatback from a hog that they had just killed. You know, there are so many things that we are going to forget. My generation will probably be the last generation that remembers those things, and I think it's important that we preserve it. So that's what this Heart of the Home is going to be about. But we're going to take you now to some blippets of what we shot yesterday and what we did the day before, and of the first day that Dwight Sanford sat on this set. And then we're going to go to something else at the end of the program that I think we all need to hear, and we all need to know that that cross is real. And you know that cross is real. We just came through the Easter season, and there's no time in the history of a Christian that we don't realize just what the Lord gave us. So here we go. About how you got rooked into being here today, because the audience is full of people who said, Dwight, can you do something for me? And you made a mistake. You said, yeah, I'll do it. And the rest is history.
Yeah, well, we were having a parade, and first we were lined up with one guy, and then it went to another person, this lady. And when she got in the car, she didn't know me.
Didn't know your song.
She'd never heard my song. And didn't know that I'm Mr. Ellijay.
No.
And so we kept talking, and after a while I said, did you hear the song? No. No, what song? And I said, do you know who I am? No, I don't know who you are. So we went on, and we were riding the parade. We went around and did the thing, you know. She kept saying, rev the engine, rev the engine. Yeah, so I did. And after a while, we had some more talks, and she's interviewed a lot of people. This lady here, you've interviewed Earl Thomas Conley.
Donna Fargo.
Brian Wilson.
Yeah.
Tell me, Which way do you think your career's going right now? Now you got me.
I have challenged you to do something.
Isn't that a little backwards?
That's a little backwards.
No.
I challenged you to do something because you made the mistake of telling me that the songs actually come to you. You're on a tractor and it just comes across your shoulder, and in 10 minutes you can write a song. So I said, okay, big boy, you've got it knocked down with Ellijay. You have 200,000 views on YouTube. Now you're going to write a song about ball ground. And you looked at me like I'd lost my mind. Yeah.
It all depends on the tractor. You know.
It does the tractor.
It's about the tractor.
Yeah, it's about the tractor. Yeah. Yeah.
But I feel a little bit better because she interviewed Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
And there was a guy there that day.
Yeah, a guy.
And she also didn't know him.
No.
She didn't know him either. So would you like to tell us who that guy was?
That guy was Glenn Campbell. And I looked at the Beach Boys and I said, who's this guy sitting next to me? And they said, Glenn Campbell. And I said, who's that?
Well,
so when
I'll
I
take
didn't
that.
know you, it was okay.
I'm in a group with Glenn Campbell.
Exactly.
So I'll go along with that. You didn't know me and you didn't know Glenn Campbell.
And it was kind of funny because number one, I'm a Chevelle girl. And so you show up in a 57 Ford and I'm already thinking, but you were so polite and you opened the car door for me and I thought, oh my God, he's so nice.
I'm a gentleman.
And then I get in the car and I realize that there's no 396 under the hood and it's a 317 1957 T-Bird engine.
312, yeah.
312, okay, a 312. And it doesn't make quite the noise that the Chevelles do. So immediately I asked you, could we please have a Chevelle before the next parade? And you replied. Okay, that was a little bitty piece of when he first started television. First time he'd ever been on live TV, and he came and he aced it and he nailed it. Next thing you know, it's the Mr. Ellijay show. And then you have the Mr. Ellijay shirts, and then you have the Mr. Ellijay tags, and then you got the Mr. Ellijay magnets on your cars, and then all of a sudden, Mr. Ellijay took over. And if you look behind me, you will see two guitars that represent him. Even though he's been absent for a while, he has been in the studio, and yesterday I almost got to hear 5 completed songs, but time got short. I had things to do, and that'll be next time. But he is getting there, y'all, and he is loving being back in the studio, but he also loves doing the television part. So you're going to get to see some of the clips that we shot yesterday. Now, remember, these haven't been edited. We were outside. The wind was pretty rough in some of them, but that's the magic of Tim. Tim can fix all this stuff. So we're going to share a little bit of the polk salad, a little bit of the days, a little bit of the music, and here we go.
It's getting close now, folks.
It's getting real close. It's getting real close.
Coming around. It's the first time I've ever done any outside like this, but I do like it. I like it outside.
Can you pull it up there on your spatula so we can show people the up close color?
It's still got.
It's getting there. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at how that color has changed. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's good stuff right
that
there.
That is looking cool. And what'd you call it yesterday? Something gold?
The green, gold, and glorious plant that grows in the wild.
There you go.
And it's not what you're thinking.
That's right. That's right. That is so cool. Look at that. That is crazy. That is crazy. And I'd say by the time this is finished, that will yield 4 to 5 quarts.
I think you're wrong. Let's see.
You think it's 6. You think it's 6. Okay, I'm betting 4 to 5. 4 to 5 quarts. You're saying about 6?
Maybe 6 or, well, I don't know. It's hard to see. It ain't through cooking yet.
Well, you know, I'm the one that's produced 4 cookbooks, but I've never been good at measuring. I don't measure a thing I cook, so.
I know the words to 1,000 songs.
But you don't know what you have for lunch?
Well, the warden led a prisoner down the hallway to his doom. And I stood up to say goodbye like all the rest. And I heard him tell just before he reached my cell. Let my guitar playing friend do my request. Let him sing me back home with the songs I used to hear. Make my old memories come alive. Take me away and turn back the years. Sing me back home before I die. I recall last Sunday morning, the choir from off the streets came in to sing a few old gospel songs. And I heard him tell the singers, there's a song my mama sang. Could I hear it once before you move along? Won't you sing me back home with the songs I used to hear? Make my old memories come alive. Take me away and turn back the years. Sing me back home before I die. Yes, now sing me back home before I die.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time. And delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
The mountains are calling, and they're closer than you think. Farmers Crossing in Ball Ground offers creekside lots with homes beginning in the 400s. Walking distance to downtown shopping, dining, tennis courts, Calvin Farmer Park, and local events. It also includes a beautiful hike to Long Swamp Creek. Leave the car and the worries behind. Move in by fall 2023. Call Sherry Martin at 404-375-0590 or Evelyn Calhoun at 770-733-0779.
Georgia Medical Treatment Center now has 2 locations to bring you the high-quality holistic care you've come to know and expect. We treat neck, back, and joint pain with chiropractic care and injection-based treatment without the need for surgery or prescription painkillers. Our medical weight loss program can also provide relief while ridding your body of toxins, pounds, and inches while improving your overall health. Call today for a free consultation, 770-345-2000, or go online to georgiamtc.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Now, we have some more blippets of what we shot on the polk salad, and we're going to share that with y'all in a minute. But I want to share something. This is something that I have. This is mine personally, but I want to share this, and I want you to think about this with your parents, because being around Dwight, I've seen so much about what parents do for your life. The love they give you, the support they give you, and the sweet memories. And so just take a listen. There is no greater gift in life than the love our parents give. It is a wonderful example of the way we should live. It helps us trust in others, to be kind, and to show concern. For the love our parents give helps us love others in return. Life has been so wonderful because of all you've done and all the gifts you've given. Love has been the greatest one. You're loved so much. And this is what parenting is about. And when we were talking to the school bus drivers this morning and talking about parenting, maybe we forgot that being a parent is the greatest gift of all. And giving love, giving support, giving that moment of, yeah, it's time to get your stuff together. Yeah, it's time to study, do your homework. You can't do this, you can't do that. Maybe we forgot that, but the greatest thing we can give our children is love. And if your parents were part of why you are such a great person, give them a little credit for it. Go out to their monument cemetery. I hate to say this, so many of us have lost our parents. And just say a little thank you, because I went by Mount Vernon Baptist Church on Sunday, and I was thinking about everything in my life. My mother had the choice to abort me, and she decided to keep me. And the rest of it is history. I mean, think about how many children were not given the opportunity to make it because we believed in abortion. My mother chose to keep me. She was going to give me up for adoption, and she changed her mind. She was 8 months pregnant and broke as a convict, had a 50-cent piece, and that's all she had. But she made it, and my life was not always perfect. There have been a lot of bumps along the way, but my mother made the choice to give me life, and never once in my life did I ever doubt that my mother loved me. I think that is so very important. During the last week, I also found a letter that my daughter Angela wrote me, and it was something that she had read on the air to y'all, and I didn't even know she had done this. And then she came and said, "Mom, I want to read this." And I said, "Okay." That one was tough, but we give love unconditionally, and that is part of it. Now, on Mother's Day, there's going to be a special family celebrating Brady Singleton. You all know the story. You all know that the only child of Ron and Shirley Singleton was killed because of a drunk driver. Every single day, I think about what could have changed that day, what could have changed that moment. Well, the Lord is in control of all of that, and so we have to accept it. I have a dear, dear friend who yesterday would have been the 12th birthday of her precious little boy who died when he was about 8 years old. And that is something hard you have to deal with. You have to understand that God's plan is perfect. Do we understand it? Absolutely not. Do we get it? Never will. But His plan is perfect. And so for those moms who are going to be celebrating a birthday, an anniversary date of the child's death, we will get through it together. And that's something that I love about all the different medias that we have, from Facebook to different things. We connect with each other, and we lift and we support each other, and we love each other. And I think that's so very important, because while a lot of moms will be celebrating with their children, some of us won't be. And it's very, very hard. So say a special prayer for those moms that are going to be hurting. I have one friend up in Lincolnton, North Carolina. I want to go visit with her because her only son died. And it's tough. It's a tough time. And it is one of those things, we have to face it. And some days we wonder how will we possibly do it, but we always get through. His will, and then our love and our strength because it comes from Him. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. We're going to share a little bit more of monkey business with Mr. Dwight Sanford, Mr. Ellijay, because he picked the poke salad. He picked a ton of poke salad, and I just had to film him doing this. And I had to film him cooking it up, and I had to film him. My job was hard yesterday. It really wasn't. It was a lot of fun, but it was 5 hours of just constantly watching the process to do this. And then you see the finished product. It's a whole lot of work, and you don't get a whole lot out of it. But if you love it, that's all that matters. So here we go. What is that?
Poke Salad Annie.
Poke Salad Annie?
In my grandma Sanford, Linda Sanford's old wash tub.
Oh, how cool is that?
I know.
Is that what you're calling number 2?
I think so.
I think it is. I think it is.
We're coming to the fire.
We are. And
we're going to boil this down.
Yeah, if you will explain our fire, because that is a very unique stove we have here.
Yeah.
A little bit different. Just a little bit different.
Sure is effective, though.
Yes, it is. Look at that. And y'all, that view right there doesn't hurt this one bit. Doesn't hurt one bit. Look at that view. So you got poke salad and the mountains. Does that?
Good morning, folks. Beautiful day in LIJ. You know who I am, don't you? Yeah, I wrote the song. And we're going to talk about something today that some of you may know very little about. We're going to introduce you to the green and gold and glorious plant that grows out in the wild. And it ain't what you're thinking, okay? It goes like this. Remember that lick? I know you do. It's Poke Salad Annie. Today I'm picking in the park, but it's not going to be on the guitar. I'm going to pick poke salad, and we're going to talk about poke salad, and we're going to teach you how to cook it and everything. Listen here, if you haven't tried poke salad, you don't know what you're missing, and if you have tried it and you don't like it, like some folks we know, then you probably don't know how to prepare it, okay? You need some eggs, you need some lard, and you need some good stuff to make poke salad everything that it ought to be, and a whole lot of salt. And this.
Alright, what are you doing there, Mr. Ellijay?
Washing the poke salad.
Washing the poke salad in a mighty big sink. Did it take a big sink because you had a big bunch?
It did.
And this is the second
It took
wash?
an hour and a half to clean this sink up, too.
Is this the second washing right here of this batch?
That is, yeah.
And this batch was washed 3 times?
3 times, yeah.
3 times. 3-time charm.
You gotta do this, dude.
Yeah, I see
You let that water run off of there. You don't want this dirty water in your new cleaner batch.
No, you don't. Now, let me say, I've asked people to tell, how do you do what we're doing? And some folks, I want to show this, told me that I would have to peel those stems before I could fry it for okra type stuff. You don't have to peel them because they're tender.
You don't. Well, if they're tender, they can be tough, but
Right.
don't pick them tough.
Don't pick them tough.
You know.
That's right. Okay, so this one is the second wash right there.
This will be the second one.
They're mighty pretty today. They don't look like they've been abused a bit. Have you been good to them?
Yeah.
Can you tell about what you found in there? Because I'd say you found some stuff.
Find a few sticks, find pine needles,
Yeah.
find bugs.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that why we 3-wash them?
Yeah, and we may 4-wash them. I don't know. I'm studying.
Yeah, yeah. Because you're a little OCDC, is that the word?
A little bit, or
Just a
something.
teenage
A little bit
bit.
DA or something.
Yeah. You know, we're celebrating a year of you wrecking my life and coming to my show and taking over.
Thanks to you, didn't I?
I did. Yeah, you did. I said, you want to come do a show? And the rest is history. Now you run the place. This is really cool, and I'm so glad. These are healthy looking. I know. These are healthy looking, aren't they?
Yeah.
Healthy.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. Now, after we do this, then are we going to, do you call that parboil? What do you do? What are we going to do?
Doesn't matter, yeah.
Yeah.
Heat temperature is not even an issue. Just turn it on and let it rip.
In that big old pot
And
I
it'll
brought.
just lay down.
Yeah. And then we're going to see out of, would you say this is 25 pounds or more?
I don't know.
It was heavy yesterday. And
I
now,
always try to guess, but it never hits right.
well, can we tell folks we're at 57 Heaven doing
We are
this?
at 57 Heaven.
I can show people the shop rate prices up there, $55.
We're at 57 Heaven, but we're not mechanicking today.
We're not.
We are prepared. Well, getting poke salad ready is about 4 stages. Okay, so we're in stage 2 right now, and
I'm seeing it now. Is this fresh well water coming on this
yes,
drink?
it is. That's what you drink.
It is.
Right
That's
there.
what I drink every day. That has to be the best well water. You're not going to send me a bill for all that well water, are you?
Well, we'll see how you do.
All right. Well, I'll be good. I'll try to be good.
If you show out.
That is the best water, I just have to say. And can we tell I tested it and it tested back 100% perfect? So I said, okay, it's time to
have
drink
to
it.
be. That water's coming out of 40 feet of rock, 20 feet down, right in the middle of 40 feet of rock.
Well, now, I'm going to show this nastiness, and I don't want people to get upset, but this is the nastiness that comes off the greens, y'all. Of course, they were on the ground, so it's a little bit of dirt, a little bit of crud, but nothing bad, and that's your water. That's your water.
Yep.
And it's important that you keep them good and clean. Now, this set of water, which is the second set of water, is not dirty. It's looking pretty
This
fresh.
is second washing right here.
Yeah.
Then I'll drain this out.
Yep.
And come
then
back.
we'll do it again. We'll do it again. Well, we're going to take about
Actually, I washed that 4 times over there.
4
Yeah,
times to
4
get
times.
that pretty. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, and he's going to go up here and choke down his lunch. So hang tight, guys. We'll be back. Okay, guess what? Now we're going to show you some photos. That is the footage that Tim will be getting in there and editing, and that's what television is about. You go out, you shoot it, you do it live, you da-da-da-da-da, and then you hand it to the master, and the master can fix the disaster if you have a disaster. We had some wind yesterday that was really, really crazy, and it was kind of weird because the wind would catch up and it'd go woo, and you could hear it on the camera, and we're like, oh my gosh. Can't do a thing about it out there, but you can in editing. So we're going to give that to Tim. Now, this is my favorite thing. Shop rates, $45 per hour, $55 if you look at it, $65 if you touch it, $75 if you watch it, and $100 an hour if you offer advice or how to fix it. That's how Mr. Vic Davis got to be shop foreman. We found out the hard way. He can fix anything, but he can tell you how to fix it, and then you have to do the work, and that is really cool. Now look at that, guys. That is showing, we took a dish pan, huge stacked up dish pan. It was full. It was actually the back of the Denali at first, or the Yukon. It was back of the Yukon full. Then you clip it down, and Dwight used the clippers that his mama used at the plant where she used to work, which I thought was really the coolest thing, these little snip things. And then it's a process, and it was a long process. Now, he had to take a little break because he was tired. He was real tired. When the day ended, he was definitely tired. But it was so cool to see the process from beginning to end. And when he called and said, hey, I've got something I want you to do, I said, okay. So we go out there, and we got the mother load of poke salad, and it literally came from a beautiful place here in Gilmer County that ETC provides for all of you to go and walk, to enjoy, to picnic, to just hang out, and that's Harrison Park. So, and that is the mighty oak that actually Dwight and his dad were there and watched that come up from a little acorn, and you see what it looks like now. Probably one of my favorite scenes in North Georgia is the sunlight coming through that mountain, or coming through the mountain and the tree. That is the finished product, y'all. That's what you get. 13 bags of poke salad ready to go in the freezer, and then you take it out and you add your lard to your frying pan and you cook it down, and then you add your scrambled eggs to it. So there it is. Now that is a king-size pillowcase, and very quickly that pillowcase became full. And we determined it weighed about 12 to 14 pounds. And then you look at when it's all cooked down, we end up with 13 quarts of poke salad. So if you love poke salad, you have to pick a whole bunch to get your freezer full. What we ended up with was 13 quarts that wouldn't even fill a shelf full in a freezer. But I've gotten advice from a bunch of folks who messaged me and said, take the stalks, and some guys said peel it, some people said not. We picked this, it was so tender. He actually picked it, I filmed it. But don't peel this because it was very tender, and just slice it up and do it like you do okra. Have any of y'all ever done that? Because I'm going to try it. That's going to be an experiment. I haven't done that before, but I'm going to try it. And again, this is all locally here at Harrison Park. And it was just amazing to just walk in the woods and see all of this. Just absolutely beautiful. And we couldn't have picked a prettier day or better scenery. And it just worked out great. And it was one of those things, he called and said, are you in the mood to film something? And I said, well, I guess I could be if I wanted to be. Hadn't had much time lately because been pretty busy, and I appreciate the fact that I'm super busy, and I thank you all for keeping me busy. But it was fun to get out and to walk with nature and to see. We did not see the first snake, thank you, Jesus. We did not get stung by a single bee, thank you for that too. Everything was just a beautiful, good day. Met some people who'd never seen poke salad, had no idea what it was, and shared the story of that with them. Now we're going to go back to the day that Dwight Sanford first sat here. It's been a year, and it was one of those things. It was an accidental something that happened. He was supposed to ride somebody else in a parade. They had an event that they had to be out of town, and they said, would you like to do this? And I said, of course I will. That'll be fun. Well, I had no idea how much fun it was going to be. And I had no idea that it was going to lead to having somebody come on the set that truly turned things around, because y'all love his craziness. And I love his craziness too. It was a bit of a serious time in life. A lot of things are going on. And he just adds laughter and fun and a whole lot of music. So we're going to go back now to the first day that Dwight Sanford set himself down here. And the next thing you know, it's the darn Mr. Ellijay show.
Was just 16 and all alone when I came to be. We grew up together, my mama, child, and me. Now things were hard and I was scared, but whenever I would cry, she'd calm my tears and drown my fears with a rock and roll lullaby. And she'd sing sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, it'll be alright. Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, just hold on tight. She'd sing sha-na-na-na-na-na-na, it'll be alright. Nothing soothes my soul like the sound of a good old rock and roll lullaby.
Wow.
How's that?
Wow. Okay, guys, what do you think? Awesome. 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 You see why you're Mr. Ellijay?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, my gosh.
It's an honor to be Mr. Ellijay, I suppose.
So cool. That is so cool.
I did write the song. So.
Yes, yeah. You know, when I think about the music of my generation, from Motown to the country stuff to Patsy Cline, there were so many songs that we remember what we were doing at a time of our life. Now, when you're writing, do you write because of something that's happening in your life, or truly just something? You told me something about you. You don't drink coffee, you don't smoke, you don't drink alcohol. You seem to live at the foot of the cross, and then you wrote my anthem, which is I've Been Wrong Before, and it sounds like it was done in a bar. So does your writing come from the heart, or does it come from life's experiences?
It sometimes, very seldom, it comes from an experience. It's always from the heart, but often it just pecks me on the shoulder. I'll be on a tractor, or I'd be driving a school bus, and
Let's talk about that.
yeah,
41 years?
41 years. And if you're out there somewhere, you may remember taking a piece of paper and a pencil, excuse me, and writing down what I said. I'd hand it to a kid and say, write what I say.
I love it. I love it.
Some songs came that way.
That's awesome.
But yeah.
Okay, if you chose your favorite song you've written, what would it be?
It's called Baby Blue. It's about Ellijay, or a town, any town, USA also. And that's my favorite, and the one I like, but nobody else liked it, so.
That's not good. Now, one of your favorite and one of your best-selling CDs is all gospel music.
Yeah.
So, is there an influence from church in your life?
Yeah, sure. Went to church when I was a little boy, and we've always been, involved in singing gospel songs with all the harmony parts and everything. But that one is the biggest selling one I've had.
Now, you did a concert recently over at Ringgold at that beautiful, beautiful old depot. That's such a great place. It is beautiful.
Yes.
And you've done a couple here at Gaha at the event center. And I understand they sold out. They told me I couldn't get a ticket because it sold out.
Backed them out in the lobby.
Sold out. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
They were pressed up against the door. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Did real good. And I thank you folks for that too, by the way. Appreciate it. It makes me feel good.
Okay, Mr. Ellijay came up with this song, Welcome to Ellijay. What made that happen?
It was a very cold night, plumb out of the ordinary cold in Ellijay. I was on the police force, and I had pulled off the side of a little street up on the hill up there called Skyline Drive, and I was just looking out over the lights of the town, and there it came.
The song just blam.
Yep.
There you go.
I sat down and cried while it wrote itself.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it's that song was just came in all at once, like some of them do.
Do you want to do a tiny bit of it live now? And
Sure.
then we're going to go to the recorded part, but do just a little bit of it live as you remember writing it.
I won't do all of it.
Yeah, because we're going to do the video in just a few minutes. So.
Yeah, I will. I'll just show you what it sounds like when it's really me.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, there's a lot of parts to this song, and music parts. All you got now is me and a guitar, so please consider that.
Yeah.
Miles north of Atlanta, where the Kusawati lay, they come out of the hills to pay their telephone bills in a town called Ellijay. When the mayor drove a shiny 62 Corvette, Slim was in a cruiser with a Cobra jet. What you see is exactly what you get if you come to Ellijay. Hey, Ellijay, a mighty fine place to be. Ellijay, good enough for you and me. Yeah. Apple blossom, baby possum, muscadine wine. Leave all your troubles at the welcome sign. I'm so proud to call a piece of this mine a town called Ellijay. How do you like them apples?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Thank y'all.
You've got apples sitting behind you. We truly are the apple capital of. And you talk about the economy and the things that are happening. One of the things I love about what you do is you're, number one, a brilliant businessman because you've got a little of this going, a little of that going, a little of this going, but you're so down to earth. And that is what is genuine about you. And I've been watching, the people you hang with are good folks. Vic Davis, one of those good folks. Vic and Larry were such an instrumental part in starting ETC and what happened here in this studio. And I was hoping that Vic could be here today. Such a great, great group of folks.
Boy, they're good people, I'll tell you what. And me and Vic hang out all the time right now.
I understand you do.
He comes
yeah.
over to my garage and shows me when I'm about to do something wrong.
Yeah, I heard that.
He drives the old car, the old 36 Chevrolet brown truck. You see him coming in and out all the time, Ernie.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, there'd be several vehicles that I own right now that would not be running.
Uh-oh. His health is okay?
Yeah, Vic's
He's okay?
doing good.
Good.
Gosh, yeah, he's doing real good. 88 years old. Are you
Wow.
glad I said that, Vic?
Yeah, so everybody knows now.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break, and I want you to throw us to a commercial. However you want to do it. You want to do it with music? You want to do it? What do you want to do?
Let's just do it without music.
All right, let's go.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break now, folks. We thank you for tuning in, and we thank you for staying tuned in. We'll be right back with you.
Oh my gosh, what a fun memory. What a fun memory. What a fun day that was. And I got to say this. Everybody who knows him in different avenues, from music to you might have worked with him. He might have written you a ticket when he was a cop. You never know where you knew him, but I have found out easily when we go places, everybody knows him, everybody laughs, and that is the coolest thing about him. There's so much laughter around. So I want to read something. Somebody sent this to me, but I think it applies to so many of you, and I want to share this with you. What a blessing it is to know you. What a blessing it is to know someone who's always just naturally thoughtful and kind, someone who'll listen and take a real interest in what you might have on your mind. What a blessing it is to know someone who will offer a hand anytime, anywhere. Someone who will look at the world through your eyes and have some perspective to share. Someone whose warmth can make good days still better or give a bad day a new start. What a blessing it is to know someone who's blessed with a loving and generous heart. And this was sent to me by Travis and Alicia Bridgman, and it sets the tone for how we should treat each other, and I appreciate what they said. But from that is a lesson to me. Tell people how you appreciate what they do. I have watched, in 1 year of knowing Dwight Sanford and naming him Mr. Ellijay, I have seen him give of his time. I've seen him give financially. I've seen him do for so many people. And then I have seen him withdraw to a point that he needs his space and he needs to go into the studio and he needs to do what he loves to perfect his craft. I love seeing the finished product, and very, very soon you're going to get to hear the finished product. I think he's probably prouder of the project that he's working on right now than anything he's ever done, because it is at a time in his life, and we say this all the time. Every time I sit down with a camera and him, it could be the last time, because we are at that age that we really don't know what tomorrow brings. And he always says, don't delete that, blip it, keep that moment that I messed up, keep that. Life is about keeping those moments that you messed up and putting them in that pile of all of that makes your life what it is today. Yesterday, when he was almost through a song, and he said, he forgot a line, and he had to redo it. And I said, why did you have to stop? And he said, because I got the second verse messed up with the first, and da-da-da-da. And I said, okay, that is life. Sometimes we get a verse messed up, and sometimes we get something and we're like, really? We got to start that over again. Well, just start over with a clean heart, a happy heart, and just do it again. Just do it again. If you blew it, if you flubbed it, just do it again. That's one of the fun things about doing live TV. Y'all have seen me do some crazy stuff. You have seen me where I was like, okay, I can't believe I was that brutally honest, and I was. And then people would call and say, did you really do that? Yes, I really did. Well, in the near future, in May, the Beach Boys are going to be at Hiawassee, and I am so flippin' excited about it, because as a 14-year-old girl, I got to eat lunch with the Beach Boys, and I got to sit in the Cherry Plaza Hotel And I got to be there, and I stole a fork that Dennis Wilson ate pecan pie with. Yes, I stole a fork, and I'm right here telling it. But that was the coolest memory of my life for just neat things happening. My mom was a marketing major, and she was involved in the advertising department at Minute Maid and Coca-Cola, and that's why I got to do some really, really cool stuff. So to my mama in heaven, thank you, thank you, thank you for hooking me up with the Beach Boys that day. Now, I want to walk into Hiawassee and see if Bruce Johnson and all those guys recognize me. They won't do it. I got old. They did too. But the Beach Boys are going to be playing live in Hiawassee, and get your tickets. I think it's on May the 18th, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure. I'll get that information from the website. But y'all go out and listen to that music from the 60s that we love. There's also going to be a concert up there with the Turtles and several other groups that are all together. And it's going to be one of those things, when we look back at our past, does it seem like the 60s was as far away as it was? No, it's so weird. It's so weird, because the 60s were a long time ago. But the music of Mr. Ellijay that we're capturing today is because there will be a day that he's not here, that I'm not here. But isn't it amazing with the technology that we have? I can go sit him down on a picnic table and capture the music, capture the moment. And then it'll be here for generations to share. That's the great thing about YouTube. And I want to ask y'all to all, subscribing to YouTube costs you nothing. Go to my YouTube channels. We have two. One is Sherry Martin, CHERIEMARTIN. And join that. We actually have three. One of the old programs, and many of y'all are on those old programs. And the other one is Sherry Martin, Heart of the Home, and that's where I just add little short blippets, just short stuff. The other stuff, the whole programs from today and every other day go on there. But it's about capturing the moment. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring for us. We don't know that we're going to make it to work tomorrow. But we know if we get right and if we are saved, we know where we're going. That's all that really matters. So think about today. Think about the moment. If somebody's been kind to you, let them know that you appreciate that. If somebody has done something out of the ordinary for you, let them say that was appreciated. One of the things that I love are to still send thank you cards, and I love that y'all do that. I love the sweetness. I love that part of, we haven't lost that yet. So just say that sweet little kind word and make a difference in somebody's life today. I hope that today has made a difference in your life. I hope you'll smile. I hope you'll get out and pick some polk salad. And I hope that your tomorrows will be better because we did what we did today. And let's all do something today to make tomorrow better for somebody else. I'll see you again soon, only on ETC. And y'all, you know, when I choose a rerun, I choose it because I either have a doctor's appointment or something has come up. And I've got some doctor's appointments coming up in the near future, so there'll be a couple of days I'm going to be doing reruns, but that's what it's about. I'll choose the best and I'll share it with y'all, and I hope that you will pass that along to everybody else. I'll see you again soon, only on ETC.